So I was definitely, I'm an independent, by the way. I was definitely leaning towards Fetterman, and I think I have totally changed to the Oz side.
Why?
I felt that Fetterman just looked like he didn't have command of the facts. I do think his condition, unfortunately, is going to affect his ability to do the job. I thought Oz was pretty clear on the issues, and I thought he presented himself well and definitely threw out some plans where I didn't see any plans coming out of Fetterman.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have great news coming from the Pennsylvania Supreme Court revolving around election integrity. Now, on this channel, I've done a few videos talking about John Fetternan and Dr. Oz, the Senate race that will be taking place. Also, you have the governor's race taking place. Hopefully, Mastriano can pull this thing off in Pennsylvania. But recently, Dr. Oz and John Fetternan held a debate. I didn't get around to making a video about it because I had a lot going on. But in that debate, Dr. Oz did an excellent job, from my opinion.
In my opinion, Oz won.
I think Oz won for sure.
I think Dr. Oz won, but Fetterman looked a little scary, sick.
And from many others. As you guys saw at the beginning of this video, the independent Democrat, the independent liberal, said that he will now lean to voting for Dr. Oz. And this is why probably now I think Oz will be relatively decent when Oz is not running in Texas or Alabama, or he's not running in no state that's deep red. He's dealing with a lot of independent liberals, like you all saw at the beginning of this video.
What pushed you towards Oz instead of Fetterman?
So I think that Fetterman, during the debate, he wasn't able to say what he was going to do and how he was going to solve the specific problems.
Who swing. They watch MSNBC all day. And I say this about the independents because when I thought I was liberal, I used to watch the YouTuber, the Mike Malloy show, talk about he's independent, but you vote for Hillary. You continue to support Democrats. You watch MSNBC all day. The Tulsi, Bernie, these are the type of people that are in Pennsylvania. And they're also in Arizona as well, because this is why Kerry Lake is trying to get in touch with Tulsi. You see what I'm saying? To kind of to get the independent heads up for that said vote. Now, so this is why when he comes out, Dr. Oz cannot just come out and say, I support the full ban of abortion. He's not in no Texas. He's not in no Mississippi. He's not in no Alabama. So when he just has to say a general stance, and this is something that you learn in political science, negotiation, persuasion. You just give a general stance. You don't really say which way you will vote or in things like that. Or nowadays you kind of do, but it really depends on the person. And Dr. Oz knows this. He's an actual doctor, not incoherent like his opponent.
John Fetterman has been unable to defend his radical views, and that's the big issue in this campaign. He takes these extreme positions that he's held for years. They're out of touch with Pennsylvania values. A good example, fracking. He calls it a stain on Pennsylvania, wanted to have a moratorium on it, had said, I'll quote him, this is from just a few years ago, I don't support fracking at all. I never have. Yet on the debate stage and subsequently, he keeps saying that he's strongly supportive of fracking, but he's unable to reconcile those. And I think what Pennsylvanians are saying, which is what many Americans can say on their own, is Washington's getting it wrong. With radical positions, I stand for balance.
And I'm done giving John Fetterman this whole stroke pass. He'll be on the ballot in a few weeks. It's time to talk to him like a grown man running for Senate. You're going to be sent to D.C. to represent people. So the independent Democrat, yet again, and I'm going to get into this article about the great news in Pennsylvania, but I just wanted to talk about the whole atmosphere of what's going on. The independent Democrat said, oh, I didn't know who to vote for before the debate. You didn't know who to vote for? You have somebody who's incoherent, who's talking about releasing criminals from prison in mass numbers, or you have Dr. Oz, who is, you see what I'm saying? What are you talking about? You don't know who to vote for. This, like I say, the MSNBC independent Democrats are the people that Dr. Oz is trying to win over to, in fact, win this seat in Pennsylvania. Now, in the state of Pennsylvania, let's get right into it. This article will be linked below. in the box. This article is from the local authorities in the Pennsylvania region. This is what they say. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court ruled Tuesday that absentee and mail-in ballots that are not dated correctly will not be counted. Now, I'm just going to ask, in the past, because I'm not sure if there are absentee or mail-in voting laws in Pennsylvania. Maybe it's 2 weeks, maybe it's an early process or things like that. But if the date was too early, why would the ballots even sent out? And also, recently, I did a video about Carrie Lake, who went on CNN with Dana Bash, and somebody commented talking about, I wish Carrie Lake would just show the evidence that she says she has. Well, listen here, buddy. You will not find that video on YouTube. There are rules and policies to follow to where you can't even really discuss certain situations. Like, I'm just showing this article. I'm not going to say anything else because there are rules and policies that you have to follow in order to stay on the platform. So I think I deleted that comment because what are you talking about? I wish Carrie Lake would just show it. Okay, moving on. So this situation in Pennsylvania is a huge W for this state. So, and this revolves around the midterms as well. I saw CNN's article. The Post Millennial also did an article about it. But this is important, guys, because it's important that they actually follow their voting laws. Why did this ruling even have to happen? This happened, guys, because of the RNC went after the state of Pennsylvania, and the RNC was correct in doing so because the ruling proves that the RNC was in fact correct. So again, all you independents, it's hard to embrace the Republican Party. Republicans suck. Just remember, they're out here fighting for states to follow their laws when it comes to voting.